As the weekend holiday comes to an end, we start thinking of the new work week and our busy routines ahead. But why should Monday blues depress us when you have me, Priya, to join you with a brand new, exciting episode of Z Connect? Let's add some sparkle and glitter to the closing of this week and end it with enthusiasm and delight. Dubai Media Council came up with an exciting new campaign called Dubai Destinations to bring to light what makes Dubai truly the best city to live and visit. In this all-new episode of Z Connect, we will explore a serene gem situated amongst the rugged mountains of the Emirate called Hatta. Come and join me as I experience some thrilling adventures at this fun place that offers a lot of outdoor activities and experiences for people of all age groups. Hatta Wadi Hub, where outdoor enthusiasts, eco-warriors or intrepid culture seekers enjoy exploring the serene landscapes of Hatta. Well, this is the perfect spot if you want to have a unique take on the surrounding national park and the splendor of Dubai's landscapes. So come with me if you want to explore further. So as you can see, we have finally reached our destination, which is the Hatta Wadi Hub. As you see behind me, the entrance itself is so interesting. You can see there's a classic car that seems to be divided in half. Half of its part is here while the other half is on the other side. And there's a very funky, cool looking entrance to it. A lot of adventurous activities await us inside. I'm going to get started with my first activity of the day, which is horse riding, which I have never done in my life. And I can't wait to do it in these serene landscapes of Dubai in Hatta. So Mabruka is ready to take me on a ride. Mabruka is this beautiful female horse that you see right here, and I can't wait to go on this ride with her. All right, getting on to Mabruka. Since this is my first time and I know nothing about horse riding, Rafiq Bhai here told me that I need to keep my balance on both sides equal, not heavy on one side and light on the other, because that will make me fall and lose balance. So I'm going to try and do that. Good job. Yay, Mabruka! Well, it's time for me to say bye-bye to Mabruka and move on to other activities at the Hatta Wadi Hub. But for you guys, if you want to try horse riding, you can come down here. You can take Mabruka or any other horse and just run around the Wadi, and you'll love it. Heading to my next activity for the day at Hatta Wadi Hub, which is archery. I've done it a couple of times before, so let's see if that experience helps. So I've reached the archery ground. Hello, James. So you're going to be training me and telling me how to do this sport.
Yes. Leave a nasty mark on our arm. It's going to go on your left arm.
Okay.
So you just let me know if it's too tight or if
Sure.
it's too loose. Okay, how does that feel?
That's fine.
Okay, so we're going to pick the bow up and then we're going to take the arrow. So now we should have something that looks like that.
Okay.
So we've got one above, two below,
Mm-hmm.
or three just below.
Okay.
Up is something like that.
Oh my God!
Okay, Priya, how did you find your first archery experience then?
This truly was the first proper archery experience. I thought what I had been doing before this was actually archery, bow and arrow, but it really wasn't. This was with proper rules and, you know, the distance of the board and everything, and how you taught us using a real... And I haven't seen, a bow as big as this also. I've just used like a smaller one to do it for fun. But yeah, these tips are really useful, what you told me about the way, how to hold the bow and how to hold the arrow, how to aim, which eye should close and which one should be open. I've learned quite a bit today, and I hope I remember this until the next time I do archery. Thank you so much, James. It's so much fun.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed today.
Thank you. Just tried my hand with the bow and arrow, and I'm moving on to my next activity for the day. What is it? Follow me to find out. Happy about seeing my weight on the weighing scale here, but apparently it's perfect for ziplining today. So generally the weight that's acceptable for doing zipline here at the Hatta Wadi Hub is between 45 to around 95 kgs, but depending on the winds, the criteria changes. Nice to meet you.
Cool.
So you're taking me for our next...
Yes, I'm the zipline supervisor. I'm going to take you to the top.
Perfect.
It's around 9 to 10 minutes walk.
Okay.
Hope you will enjoy.
Oh my God!
You ready?
Yes. Okay, so I'm in my safety gear and I'm all set to do that 350-meter zip line, which Shiran has just explained. And excited and a bit scared too. Okay. And do I put my legs up?
Yes. And 3, 2, 1.
Whoa, my God! Okay, I'm gonna leave my hands. Woo!
How was the experience?
I did it, and just like you said, I released my hands midway and enjoyed the full experience.
Yeah, I saw you enjoy it.
Yes. Thank you so much, and I think everyone who comes here has to do the zip line for sure. So we were in the sky with the zip line. Now we're moving to another land activity. Follow me to find out what it is. We're all ready to Rover with Alex. Okay. Quite a fun experience with this Rover, and I think I really feel very strong and powerful now because this Rover itself is so powerful, and I have all the safety gear around me which I don't usually wear in life, and it's nice and windy. It's so good. This thing is perfect for open air. So yeah, take it around the Hatta Wadi Hub and have a good time. Or 20 minutes drive from the Hatta Wadi Hub, you get to the Hatta Dam, where the quiet waters of the lake and the surrounding water body provide for an unforgettable kayaking experience. So open your mind to a whole new world and paddle away into serenity and peace of this beautiful place. I can't seem to get over the beauty of this place. The wadis all around, there's water, there are kayaks and boats that we can't wait to experience, and there are some beautiful birds here as well. So it's my second experience with the kayak today. I did it once before, but with someone else. So they were using their energy and full power to paddle, and I was sitting very comfortably. But today it's just me by myself in this single person kayak. So let's see how I manage this. Woo, thank you. Okay, so the breeze whenever it comes is amazing. So far I think I'm doing all right. You gotta make sure that you balance it out well so that your boat doesn't topple. My hands are tired. Okay, back to where we started from. Thank you. Well, this is my end of the activities at Hatta. The few that I showed you are really just a few, but there are so many more that you can come down here and enjoy. You can make it a day trip, or you can even stay at the Wadi Hub in one of the lodges, the caravans, or bring your own tent and set it up and camp there. Hatta is one of the top Dubai destinations that is a must visit. So come down here, experience it, and let me know how you found it. We'll take you to a cultural extravaganza celebrating storytelling right after this short break. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. From novelists to paleoanthropologists, screenplay writers to fitness gurus, Emirates Airline's Festival of Literature saw the participation of hundreds of literary brains from all across the world. Today we are going to introduce you to two of the gems from the Litfest, Alka Joshi and Carlos Andres Gomez. Alka, welcome to ZConnect.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, and you look gorgeous. I love your eyes and I love this pink on you.
Well, thank you so much. It's the pink of hospitality from Jaipur.
Wow, you love Jaipur.
Yes, it is where most of my extended family lives still. And it's one of the cities that we used to live in when we were a younger family in Rajasthan.
And at the age of 62, you released your first book.
Yes.
The Henna Artist. And you dedicated it to your mom.
Yes.
So she was the inspiration for you to write the book?
Yes, I was making a lot of trips with my mother to Jaipur at the same time that I was in this Masters of Fine Arts program in creative writing. So as I was in this program, my mother is showing me her India of the 1950s. She's showing me what she loves about India. She's showing me the saris that she would wear. We're going to the Pink City Bazaar. We're looking at churis. We're looking at all kinds of wonderful things. And I'm noticing all the women's hands with henna on them.
Yeah.
And so I just started to get this idea of a woman like my mother who gets to live a very different life than my mother did.
Yeah.
So I thought I just wanted to thank her for creating this life, and I wanted to give her, through fiction, an alternate life via Lakshmi.
Yeah, right. Okay, so why henna artist particularly?
Well, because it is so ubiquitous in all over South Asia, all over the Mideast. Everybody knows about henna. And it's one of those arts that I think you can pick up if you have any modicum of artistic ability. And if you just happen to know how to make the henna paste using some essential oils, and you can just start applying whatever is in your imagination to people.
Yeah.
So I thought this is something that she could do, even though she doesn't have any formal schooling and she doesn't have a lot of family around who can help her. This is something she could set up on her own.
So what is that one message you'd like to give out to aspiring writers out there?
Okay. I think that if you are going to write about something that you know, something that may be very culturally distinct, the world is waiting for you and publishers are waiting for you. They are hungry for that kind of story.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Alka. It's been a pleasure.
You're so welcome.
Carlos, welcome to Dubai and welcome to ZConnect.
Thank you so much, Priya. It's wonderful to chat with you, and I love Dubai, so it's always great to be here.
You work across various genres. You write books, you also write plays, and then there's also acting. What is it that you enjoy the most?
Wow, that's a great question. It's a question I actually get pretty frequently when people see all the different things that I do.
Yeah.
I think for me, my favorite medium is live performance.
Wonderful. Tell me something, generally poems or any form of writing, any piece of writing for that matter, is generally opinionated. So it essentially reflects a writer's perceptions or views. So do you sometimes find it difficult to engage with your readers or to make them accept your views?
Yeah, that's a really great question because a lot of my work, it wrestles with high stakes issues, with topics that can be powder kegs, as we say in the United States, that can be volatile, that people can have very, people have strong opinions in opposite directions. And what I find, and people will notice this throughout all my work, whether it's my creative nonfiction in my memoir or in my poems, so much of my work is centered around personal narrative. So many of my poems and stories in my book are ultimately just me telling stories through the lens of my own lived experience. And what I find is, I think there's something about a story that's so inherent to the human experience that draws us closer together, that we just sort of understand on some basic level of humanness. I think if I walk into a room and I say, I want to talk about masculinity, half the room's going to leave, literally or figuratively. But if I say, I was at my uncle's barbecue last weekend, everyone's like, I have an uncle, and I think that's the way that I find to disarm and invite people into conversations about things that might be complex and messy and terrifying and vulnerable. I'll say, I was 12 years old and I was going to the bus, and everyone's thinking, I was 12 once. Even if I didn't take a bus, you're immediately sort of projecting your own experiences onto that. And so I think that's a tool that I use a lot as a live performer, as a speaker, as a playwright, as a poet, and I think in so much of my work, that's been my key to unlock a connection with strangers who might otherwise not want to talk to me for 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's actually a very great idea to how to actually engage people in conversations by starting with a story, and stories that people can relate to, rather than preaching something and just preaching your views, and people may just
people just check out. I'm never trying to preach to people. I'm just telling them stories. And then a lot of times I'll also engage with them too. That's an important part of it too, being interactive and a kind of dialogue. And I'll do it my live performances, and then people feel like you're taking them seriously. You're valuing the resource of knowledge they brought into the room.
Yeah, wonderful. It's so nice to talk to you, Carlos. I wish this could go on. I'm having a really nice talk with you here.
Thank you. It's wonderful to chat with you, Priya.
We've got lots more coming up on this show, but right after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Increasing digitization of media and the opportunities and challenges it presents were at the core of the discussion at the recently held ABLF talks conducted at the Expo. Check out a few glimpses from the event featuring the insights and opinions on technology and the economy from eminent business leaders from this region.
Wonderful to have you all with us, gentlemen, today. Some say that the pandemic has been the perfect catalyst to really drive that push forward. So would you agree with that? And what do you think the impact of the last 2 years has been on digitization?
First, let me put you in the picture, because what happened over the past 2 years was unexpected. The last pandemic happened 100 years before. There was no TV, and we don't have a kind of mechanism or a kind of set plan to face this. So let's try to think all together what we do. And by the mid actually of 2020, we were broadcasting from every single presenter house. So that is because of the digitization.
What have been the biggest challenges and advantages of, in fact, going digital? How has Khalij Times embraced the digital journey?
In that time, we've had here the companies stop printing for a while. because of fears because of COVID. But on the flip side, we were seeing record audiences gravitate to us from a digital perspective. So for us as an organisation, how do you map and change to that? So on one hand, just building on Mohammed's point, everyone's watching on mobiles, but actually the presentation on mobile isn't necessarily in landscape. It's better actually in portrait, which actually cascades into a workflow in terms of how do people shoot video and then upload it on which platforms and presentation. So for me, that's fascinating to see that change.
Ask you about the way that the way that we consume news and entertainment. It's evolved so much, and so talk to us about how Z Network has embraced that particular evolution and how you see things changing further still.
We saw huge consumption going up in OTT, and we've had challenges in terms of filming. We couldn't film across. A lot of filming unit, be it movies or series, were stopped during that point of time. So what we have done is a lot of pre-planning. Can we change locations of filming immediately if need to be? Is there backups required both technologically as well as in terms of human resource, be it at the crew level or an actor?
How the changing consumer behavior and expectations, how that is leading what you are going to be doing at Zand as well, the parallels that you see between the media and the finance and banking industries.
What we can see in the last few years with COVID is acceleration is accelerating. People are, expectation of people are different. And when I look at finance, when we ask people, what are you expecting? And I think it's the same in what they're expecting from media. Trust of the media is very important as well. So because there is so much information available everywhere, which one is reliable, which one is not? So to be in a media we have a kind of reputable name, it provides this kind of trust that we need. And the same for banking, right? You have a lot of appearing, but someone who has a banking license will be trusted more than someone who doesn't have. So there is a lot of similarities between the two.
OTT streaming platforms and how they have been impacted in terms of programming at Z Network as well.
When it comes to entertainment, it gets a bit more simpler. Of course, there are narratives there, but when we go back to the OTT platform, we saw a lot of uptake, both in subscription and terms of watch time in OTT. Now, when it comes to news, mobile was leading the way, But when it comes to entertainment, with the quality of production, I doubt any of us would want to see a Z5 show or a Netflix show on a small screen, unless you are traveling from a place to a place. So you will see places where commuting time, London or India, any of the places where you spend a lot of time on a railway or on bus, people tend to watch, and there are phablets and bigger mobiles. But in places like Dubai and smaller towns, you want to go back home and watch TV and have that production experience on a larger screen.
The main now is still, the credibility is still with the official media, is on the top.
I think a train being late, you can automate into news. I think something happening on the street, you can't.
Right.
I think the media can help, right, to educate about finance. When you start educating, you have literacy.
I will take some inspiration from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. He said 6 beautiful words: imagine it, design it, execute it. And I think that is going to be the future.
All of our distinguished guests here today, Mohammed Burhan, Olivier Crispin, Manoj Matthew and Alan Griffin. Please join me in thanking them all. Thank you, gentlemen.
Alan, welcome to Z Connect, and you were great up here at the ABLF talks, and there were some very key insights coming from you. So tell me, Alan, are you driving the change or are you driven by the change at Khaleej Times?
I think there's a bit of both. As an organisational leader at Khaleej Times, it's really the onus is on me to help the organisation see a future and drive to that, but also a recognition that the world is changing, technology is changing at such a pace. We need to figure out the ways to keep up and really deliver to that great audience we have with COVID.
Yeah, so what are these difficulties or challenges with this evolving technology?
I think the evolving technology is understanding it and applying it to your business. The opportunity there is, for instance, we see it on audience understanding and data. Being able to understand your audience better means that you can serve them better. And that helps across the business, whether that's on the commercial side or on an editorial side. I think that's really key.
Perfect. Thank you so much for talking to us, Alan.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Life is an art, live it in colors, and we promise to add more color to your lives next week on Sunday with many more vibrant stories. Till then, keep browsing our social media handles and don't forget to send us your valuable feedback. We would love it. Thank you and see you soon.